looking at probability. Probability. Check that out. Mr. Sheehan has a pen. Probability is useful for when you want to figure out how likely something is to happen. The main way to think about probability is like a fraction. Something over something. So let's get into it. Don't say it. So like a fraction, we talk about probability by saying something out of something. So say I want to figure out the probability of getting a head when I flip a coin. So the coin has one side there, another side there. One of them is a head. Hello. And one of them is a tail, like a fox. Sure. So on the top of the fraction, we write how many there are of what we want. So we want a head. We're working out the probability of getting a head when we flip for heads or tails. So we want one of the possibilities out of how many different things we could get. We could get a head or we could get a tail. That's two different things. So the probability of getting a head is 1 out of 2. If I want to roll a 3 on a die, here's my amazing drawing of a die. 1, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. If I want to get a 3, this is the one I want. I want to get one thing out of how many different things can we get? We could get a 1, we could get a 2, we could get a 3, we could get a 4, we could get a 5, we could get a 6, we could get a 7. No, we can't. Don't be silly. So I could get 1 out of 6 different options. So that's the probability of getting a 3, is 1 out of 6. Remember, on the top, on the top, that's not very exciting. There we go. On the top, we write what we want. We want one of the numbers out of 6. And on the bottom, we write what we could get. Sweet. Any questions? No? Good. Okay, let's do some examples. Think of a number on a normal die. Here we go with our very squiggly die. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Why not? And 1. Even though the 1 doesn't really go there. That is the worst die in the world. I'm getting rid of that. Goodbye. Die, die. Alright. Here we go. Slightly better. Oh, this is a pencil. I don't want a pencil. Go away. I want a pen. Yeah. Okay. Here we have our normal die. Yeah. Oh yeah. Think of a number in your head. Got it? I know that you picked 4. If you didn't pick 4, you're wrong. You picked 4. The probability of rolling a 4 on a normal die is 1 out of how many? I'll give you a second to decide. Remember, this is what we want. This is what we might get. All the options for what we might get. Thinking music. Okay, the probability of rolling a 4 is 1 out of 6, because there are 6 different options we might get on a normal die. We might get a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. 6 different options, and we only want one of them. We only want the 4. New example. The probability of me picking the ace of hearts. That's a good red color. The ace of hearts out of a normal pack of cards. I'm looking for this one specific card out of how many possibilities. In a normal pack of cards, there are 52 cards. So I'm looking for one card out of 52 cards. The probability of me picking this one card out of 52 cards is 1 out of 52. So not a very high chance. There's only one ace of hearts in the pack, so I'm only looking for one card out of 52 cards in total. Okay, new example. If I wanted to pick out, or I wanted to choose a queen, any queen out of this pack of cards, that looks like a lollipop. Queen. I'm looking for any queen in a normal pack of cards. I am looking for something out of, remember this line means out of. I am looking for something, don't know how many, out of 52 cards. How many queens are there in a pack of cards? There are 4, one for each suit. Queen of diamonds, queen of hearts, queen of spades, queen of clubs. So there are 4 different things we could get out of 52 cards in total. And that actually simplifies to 1 out of 13. Because we can divide this by 4, and whatever we do to that one, we do to that one, and that also we divide by 4 to get the simplest fraction, 1 out of 13. Make sense? Good. Alright, quick test question. Out of a pack of cards, normal pack of cards, what is the probability that I will choose a 4 of anything? What is the probability that I will choose a 4 of anything? Remember, the bottom number is what we could get. In a pack of cards, there are 52 different things we could get. And on top, we're writing the number of things that we want. How many of these cards that we want are 4? How many 4s are there in the pack total? There are 4 different 4s, one for each suit. So that's 4 chances that we could get what we want out of 52. The probability of getting a 4 out of a normal pack of cards is 4 out of 52, and we know that simplifies to 1 out of 13. Because, as we know, whatever you do to the top, you also do to this bottom one, and we simplify it to 1 out of 13. The probability of getting a 4 in a normal pack of cards is 1 out of 13. Now, probability is useful for comparing how likely things are. And here's what you're going to look at. The bigger the denominator, the bottom number is denominator. The bigger the denominator is, the lower chance you have of getting it. If I have a 1 in 10 chance of being president, that's a pretty good chance. But if I have a 1 in a million chance of being president, That is not a big chance. This, 1 out of 10, is more likely than this, 1 out of a million, because this denominator is smaller. This, there are way more other options than me, so this is the most likely. Let's go back to the first example. With our coins, you might either get heads or tails. So we want tails this time. So the thing we want one thing out of a total of 2 things. So we have a 1 out of 2 chance of getting tails. Probability that we have is 1 out of 2. When you roll a die, there are 6 different options. So it's out of 6. And we want to choose one number, so we want to choose a 1. The probability of getting the one we want is 1 thing out of 6 things. So, which are we more likely to get? Are we more likely to roll a 1 on the die, or flip a head? This number is bigger, so there are more chances for us to fail. So it's not that one. We are more likely to get a tail. Okay, real world example. If 15 million, that's million, and you buy a lottery ticket, your chance of winning the lottery is 1 out of 15 million, because you are just one person out of 15 million people who bought a ticket. And out of every 960,000 people, one of them will get struck by lightning. So the chances of you getting struck by lightning are about 1 out of 960,000, and your chance of winning the lottery is 1 out of 15 million. This is more likely because the denominator is smaller. There are fewer options. This is less likely because the denominator is bigger. There are more options that could happen than just your 1. You are more likely to get zapped than you are to win the lottery. So maybe don't buy that lottery ticket. And maybe stay inside during a thunderstorm too.